Hey guys, and welcome to the FPL Tips YouTube channel. For yet another video, we are just about gonna reach the Gameweek 6 deadline, and we are here with the stream on that just a second. Um, so um, let me know if you can if the audio and is fine in the chat, so then we can go ahead with discussing FPL. Yeah, spoiler alert. I mean, there's not needed for any spoiler alert. We're all on our wildcards, most of us, this week. So let's discuss some wildcard things as well. So yeah, coming to the first thing of this week, we have the projected goals and clean sheet odds, a graphic made by Rob T. Do hit a follow of him. He does this very regularly on Twitter, and quite a few other graphics as well. We'll be showing another of his very interesting graphic this week. But this is where it is right now. With Liverpool currently have the most goals, odds projected to score the most goals this week, while Arsenal have the projection for the like highest odds for the clean sheet this week. Arsenal have very high odds for goals as well, and Liverpool have the second highest for clean sheets. So these are the two teams that you got to target this week. Man City, from an attacking point of view, do look very good as well. So Erling Haaland is definitely continuing to put his hand up as the best captaincy option. You have Chelsea against Brighton. You have Palmer and Jackson over there. I think they are pretty good this week as well, with 2.05 goals projected to score. Bournemouth, very interesting play. Southampton in the South Coast Derby, and I might be wrong about the Southwest Coast Derby. One of those derbies, but it is a derby. So they will be playing against each other. Bournemouth are projected to score 2.2 goals in that game. Man United Tottenham is going to be a close one, and the goals say that it's probably going to be a high scoring one. So you might want to invest in the attackers over there and not so much with the defenders. And finally, coming to Brentford at home against West Ham, who look currently pretty miserable on defensive point of view. Um, they are projected to score 1.75. While the other games where and sorry, I missed Aston Villa as well. There's Watkins, there's Rogers away at Ipswich, who are also having a good fixture this time around. Keep your questions coming, and I will start answering them one by one. Hello, Devang, and yes, Saka or Salah captain from Adarsh. I think you probably. I mean, both you can't go wrong over there. I'd probably say Salah, because the only reason is in the absence of Odegaard, I think Saka is going to be the primary creator for Arsenal, and that means you will see Trossard and Havertz at the end of these chances created, and Saka might not get as many shots. But still, it's Leicester at home, so Saka is definitely a good captaincy shout as well. But I just lean towards Salah. Pat's team: Raya, Trent, Gabriel, Lewis, Saka, Diaz, Semenyo, Mbumo, Haaland, Solanke, DCL, wildcard thoughts. I have a very similar team to that, and waiting for some Raya news, which was going to determine a lot of things. But I have a very similar team to that as well. So it's a good team. And so coming to the next questions, I'm just quickly also checking some Raya news simultaneously, maybe even Rico Lewis news as well. So if we get some news on that, we'd probably say Anshuman is here as well. So he's staying up pretty late to view this. Welcome, Anshuman. How's it going?
Oh, hello. Can you hear me? Just let me know that.
Yeah,
Am
I
I
can hear
audible?
you. I think the chat can hear you too.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on the chat. Hello, everyone. Been a long time. We're back on the deadline stream.
Yeah, I think it's been quite a long time since we've done a deadline stream together as well. So it's
Yeah,
pretty.
it's just horrible timing. It's 2 a.m. and I'm just up for like wildcard news. And just like
Yes.
it requires insane commitment to actually play a wildcard from this country. That's not the optimal place.
Any
But
news on the
yes,
wildcard side?
there's rumors that Raya is spotted back with the Arsenal team. So that's something that's happening around.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you guys discussed that, but that's happening around, going
Yeah,
around
no,
as a
I've
meme.
I've been waiting for some news.
Yeah,
I've not been
concrete news on
checking.
that.
Yes. Huh?
Yeah, some concrete news on that same front.
Okay. So yeah, more concrete news, and we can just put it up on the chat and
Yeah,
then ping it, because I think that's the news everyone's waiting for, and some Rico Lewis news as well. Uh, but yeah,
I think
continuing with the questions. Uh, Reading with Devang's wildcard, Diaz, Solanke, 0.4 in the bank, or Palmer, Stewart, zero point 0.7 in the bank. I think I'd go the former, right?
and yeah, I'll go forward too. Yeah, correct. I'm just pushing this out on Instagram. Sorry guys,
Yes.
just give me a second.
Um, would you go without Diaz on wild card? I think there is merit going without Diaz. I think you have pretty good options. There is Eze, who's still. I mean, he's not performed the way we'd expect him to, but
Yeah,
he's sort of still the talisman, playing 90 minutes for Crystal Palace, hoping that they get a few more goals. There is Yeah, there's also Madison, who's putting up very good numbers at the moment, and the fixtures for Spurs from Game Week 8 onwards are good. And yeah, so there is some merit going without Diaz, but I think he sort of is one of the standout picks in that price position, because just purely because of the form he's playing with, and he's had a full rest in the midweek, and so that's why I think Diaz right now could be someone who you favor going with, and he also sort of not covers basically Salah, but also covers Liverpool in some sense. So that's another merit as well.
that's that.
Um,
I personally feel Diaz is good. Honestly, I wouldn't really be like. I'm not sitting on the fence with Diaz. Actually, I am pro Diaz. I have him in my wild card as well.
Same.
And yeah, I would actually go for it because uh, I think you know, two three good fixtures, then you can turn around him and then see if Madison is doing good. Johnson, there's like of as you said, there's enough options to look at and then decide. And right now, he seems good. And then there's also a lot of news about Wolves being a depleted squad, so there could be it could be a huge scoreline this week.
Yes, yes. The questions are coming pretty thick and fast, so I'll just try to go through
Yep, yep.
more of them quickly. Long-term pick Salah or Saka. I'd say Saka, because of the structure. You can bring more people in your team, and
Yeah,
also you have merit to go from Saka to Foden when the fixtures get much better for City, and if you know he's starting, you have room for going Saka to Palmer as well. So that price packet, I think I like a little more, and then in that sense, I think if you have Saka over Salah, you can also do like a 5.5 mid to a 7.58 million mid, which is where your Luis Diaz is, and also your Madison and Bruno and all these people. So sort of has like a lot more merit over there. Um, Savio is a recent shout. He seems pretty nailed. I think he'll continue to start for a while, but with
yep.
Champions League in, I'm not sure how long that will be. And Foden is also kicking in the team. Bernardo Silva can play on the right as well, so it's a little risky. There are better options in Smith Rowe and Semenyo who are like slightly cheaper, I'd say.
Yeah, and it's true. And with Gundogan available as well, that just adds to the mix. And Gundogan is a preferred midfielder for Pep. That's sort of the reason why I'm up as well for Rico Lewis, because there is a very high chance that Gundogan plays that role. He just can't do that, and I don't want to be
Yes.
on the end of the spectrum where he's doing that job and there's no Rico Lewis.
Um,
Is it good to
yeah.
start Diego? I'd
Diogo.
say, yeah, I'd say it's not the best time to start Diego Jota. I mean, I think the first couple of game weeks was a good shout that we gave him and a good chance. Now seems like very tough to continue having holding him. I personally am really unsure about starting him. If you have him fair, if you're not on wildcard, go ahead. Uh, I'm not sure how many minutes he'll play this one.
I think he played 59 minutes against West Ham, and
Yeah,
Nunez played all 90 minutes. So that sort of leans towards a Jota start in this weekend, and maybe Nunez against Bologna. But that being
I,
said, if you don't have Embumo, I'd say go Jota to Embumo. I think that should be priority.
yeah,
If not, if you do have Embumo, I'd probably maybe hold Jota, I feel.
yeah, I agree. Actually, Well, a lot of people have a lot of questions on Raya. I think I'll just pin it down. Raya will. It's sort of a wait till the end. There is a lot of news around maybe spotting him, and we'll actually just showcase that with our drafts as well. Uh, if you want to take up your draft first and
Yes,
just show what it is
I think there's
with and
yours
without
first. This
Raya.
one is yours.
Yeah, I think that's fine. So I'll take it through mine as well. This is what I've gone without Raya. I'm assuming that he's out. For now, if he comes in, then I will make a couple of changes, which is Havertz would go sort of out, or Semenyo would go down to a Rogers, and then I would upgrade Fleck into a to potentially Raya, and then see Havertz out to Solanke maybe. But this is what I've gone for now. Fleckin, Trent, Gabriel, Lewis, those four starting for me in defense. I have upgraded Rogers to Semenyo because I have two free transfers going into this wildcard. That means that next game week I should have three, at least two. So I have enough to shuffle around when required to get in Raya. And
Hmm.
that's sort of the plan that I have. So I have Semenyo, Saka, Luis Diaz, and Buemo starting. I think Semenyo has good fixtures. It's better than Rogers. I understand Rogers has Ipswich, but I don't rate him as high as I rate Semenyo. So that is the reason I've switched. And the front three is pretty much decent. I'm not happy with Calvert-Lewin, but there's pretty much no option. I think there's Nketiah. I'm very mixed about him yet because Crystal Palace haven't showed that flair. If Crystal Palace was slightly more better, I would have gone Nketiah only because they're a better team,
And
but I
yeah,
haven't seen
if you
that yet.
also noticed against United, Nketiah was playing more on the right, and that's not what you'd want for a striker. I think Calvert-Lewin and Wood are probably the two options who are available in that cheap price, and just that
Yeah.
2.2 million cheaper for Calvert-Lewin just warrants that, and also like higher minutes for Calvert-Lewin for him staying on the pitch. Everton need to turn their seasons around, and they have the fixtures on their sheet to do that. So I expect something out of Everton in the next few games. So that's why I think Calvert Lewin is probably there, but I'm not expecting that much as well. Um, yeah, I
Yeah,
think
and
it looks like a solid team. I think mostly the defense
yeah,
is very similar to what I have as well, other than the
the
Raya thing.
template.
But yes, I'll just take
Yeah,
you to my draft, which is wait. Yeah, that's
yeah,
my draft right
there's the
now.
draft.
Okay, I have Sanchez right now on goal, but it's gonna be Raya there and Havertz. These are the two positions that are not nailed in my team. Where if Raya is starting, then Raya goes in instead of Sanchez, and Havertz is going to go down to Solanke. But now that if we get news that Raya doesn't start, then I think I have a choice to make between Flecken and Sanchez, which is something I'd like to ask from you as well. But I've been looking at this some of the stats, and Chelsea look pretty solid on that. And this is a spot that's gonna be there in your team for like 20 plus game weeks. So in that sense, I'm not very sure on uh like the fixtures play, immediate fixtures play. I'm not really sure about that. uh, so I think this is just a long-term move that I think at some point you're just gonna see a keeper who's gonna score more points in 25 game weeks, and I feel like Sanchez will.
Okay, there's a lot of questions about this particular topic that who are we switching out Havertz to in case there is a news. So what is your plan? And then I'll discuss what my plan looks like.
I'm going to do Havertz to Solanke.
So yeah, that's pretty much same. I looked up into stats for forwards. A lot of people interested in Jackson, and you can switch to Jackson. But personally, as a Chelsea fan, I would say it's pretty much a hit and miss. He has a good streak going on right now, but he isn't a good forward overall as of now. He's still very hit and miss. So I wouldn't really expect any different from what a DCL or a Wood would perform on a good fixture. And plus, they have penalties. Jackson does not have penalties. So I think, given those reasons, I would still switch to a DCL or a Wood. Then maybe consider. And he's more expensive as well, which doesn't make sense to me. He's what 7.6, 7.8. And a lot of
Yes,
question on
I
Cole
mean,
Palmer as well. Yeah, go ahead.
hmm. Quickly, just addressing that from my point of view as well. I think Solanke is just a long-term play. He's gonna be a perma play guy on that third forward position, which is not something you'd want to move. I'm looking at my team and I want to limit the number of clicks I have, which is gonna be very like short term. I think currently I have Diaz, Semenyo, and Lewis, and also
Yeah.
Havertz, which I'm not really liking. But I'm guessing one or two of them might become long term. Lewis also might become like your long term play where you're going to keep him and start him the game weeks he starts, and you start
Yeah.
some of your other defenders who have good fixtures otherwise. But you sort of want to limit it. Havertz is a good option because he has Leicester at home and Southampton at home, and Arsenal
Then you
will
move
look
it
to
out to
catch. Yes, Arsenal will look to catch their goal difference in these fixtures, which is something I like. They did that last season as well. They score a lot of goals against these like newly promoted sides. So I do see like 3-4 goals at least scored in both these games, which is why I think Havertz looks like that thing. And the point I mentioned a little earlier is that Saka is sort of a creator role right now in the absence of Odegaard, and that might mean all the chances almost will be falling to either Havertz or Trossard. So that means I think Havertz looks good for these two fixtures, and that's why I think the upside for Havertz is much more than the upside for Jackson. Jackson's playing against two teams who are pretty good defensively.
But given that two questions, just which are sort of popular in the chat as well, that do you think Cole Palmer is an option going for someone like me or in someone in the same situation like I am? I have two free transfers going into the wild card, which is pretty much a huge boost because now I can figure out two positions which I can just punt on and still have a decent wild card. Do you think Palmer this game week and the next game week is good? Brighton and Nottingham.
Yeah, I think so. And again, I mean, Palmer. It depends on how you want to play it. If you
No,
want to,
just like
if you want
over
that,
Saka.
if you want that player to be a permanent player, then I'd say Saka is probably a little higher up. But I'm not sure actually. Palmer is also very good. He can be a permanent player at that number 10 position. Chelsea are playing well, and if you have that budget, I'm not against it. And you can maybe do Havertz, Gabriel, and if possible also Saliba. Or I mean, if you go Raya, I think there is definitely merit over there. But I'm just going to stick with Saka over Havertz or over Palmer.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
No,
I wouldn't
I feel
recommend anyone against doing that.
yeah, I feel it's a good 2 week punt, but then again, you should have enough transfers in back to again switch back to Saka. If you're someone with no free transfers going into the white card, I won't do it.
Yes, but also after 3 weeks, you have Saka playing Liverpool home, Newcastle away, Chelsea away. I mean, he can definitely again continue to assist. You saw him assisting against
Yeah,
Spurs and Man City. But Saka is the guy who's going to score points. So is Palmer. So it depends on
it's really
who
hard to
you
say as of
want.
now.
Yeah.
But, and
Currently, I mean, it's a 3 week move. I'm looking at after 3 weeks. If I see a Southampton at home fixture for City and Foden is starting, then you probably do Saka to Foden at that point to catch the
absolutely.
upside.
And current problem I have with my draft is that I'm okay with Havertz only because I want to send him off to Solanke in 2 weeks. Is the lack of Odegaard. I really believe that Arsenal is not that fluent attack wise right now without Odegaard, and that's sort of a tactical nuance that's clearly visible. I feel in terms of difference from last year. So I don't have full faith in their double attack. Is mostly because I have 2 weeks of a punt in terms of Havertz and then down to Solanke for funds. I'm taking it. If I did not have that out route, I would not do it. I would not go double attack. I would probably just go double defense, sit down there. Uh, if required, Raya just start with Raya, take a 1 week gamble. He'll be back next game week, or go instead of Luis, go Saliba.
Yes. Okay. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. I don't think. But yeah, it's just these two fixtures. I'm not sure if Arsenal will be continuing to score goals in the next few fixtures. They'll be looking at
Yeah.
a more defensive route. That which is why I like a long-term defensive option. I've also had a Saliba draft, but I just quite like the Havertz draft a little more if Raya is missing. So that's just the reason why I'm going with this. Let's
Okay.
take a few more
Let's
questions. There are a lot
yeah.
of
Let's
draft
take up
questions on the chat.
questions. Yes. One of which I can see is I'm in the top 70K and I believe in the team, but I don't have Embuemo and Gabriel and Thomas kicking in. Should I consider wildcard? Don't have any free transfers. If your team is stable, if you're not changing much, like about like seven or six, seven, eight players, then it doesn't have to be a wildcard necessary. Maybe you already have half of these players. For specifically Embuemo and Gabriel, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't switch around everything. I think that can
Yeah,
happen next game week as well.
yeah, I think you can continue, especially if you have a Liverpool player this week. If you have Salah, if you have say Jota or Diaz, you can continue going there. And if you believe in the team, then you don't need to think
Yeah, I
away
wouldn't.
from that and put a wild card. Maybe hold your thing. Maybe try to get one of them for a free transfer. But you, since you don't have, you can just go ahead without them this week and
Yeah, agree.
about it as
Not
well.
sure who's net talked. Yeah. Next question we have is Kaizan, who sent in his team. Kaizen says Flecken, Gabriel Trent, Luis Saliba. That's four. Greaves, Saka, Rogers, Savio, and Buemo, Sameo, Wood, Solanke, Haaland. Yeah, I understand. It's a four at the back sort of team. You'll have to play a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2. In only that situation, it justifies to have Gabriel, Saliba, Trent, and Lewis. Uh,
But then since
Otherwise,
you also have 8 attackers in this team, you have Saka,
yeah,
Rogers, Savio, Mbumo, Semenyo, Wood, Solanke, and Haaland. So I probably downgrade Saliba and have Havertz in this team, I guess, instead of Wood.
yeah. The other possibility is maybe downgrade Saliba and upgrade Savio, or just like sort of try
Yeah,
moving him up because there's another spot that can happen over there.
yeah.
So you can look at
You
those two
can go to
options. I think that
Diaz maybe or Madison.
yeah, yeah, Madison could be done there. That's a possibility.
Yeah,
Next up, we had Fede with this question. He has wildcard on Henderson, Konsa, Gabriel, Trent, Keane, Luis, Diaz, Rogers, Semeo, Saka, Smithrow, uh, Raul Jimenez, Haaland, and DCL. 2.1 million in the bank. Should I do Smithrow to Embermo? Ooh, there's actually a lot that can be done here. I wouldn't really
yeah,
go Henderson. That's first top of my head. I would not go Henderson. Christian don't look like a good defense. Crystal Palace just don't see clicking right at the moment. That's one of the
yeah.
major reasons I wanted to wildcard. They just don't look good.
Flecken sells better
Are too
options over
good.
there.
And then Sanchez, yeah, in that bracket, those three are pretty much, I think, nailed on picks, and you should think about them.
Yes.
Konsa again. Does Villa have good fixtures? I don't remember.
Defense is
They
fine.
have
I
a
mean,
mixed
I'd
bag of
probably
fixtures, I
have,
think.
yeah, I'd probably have a Mikolenko over Konsa over there. But
He has
that's
Keane as
just
well.
like, I mean, that's just who you trust in the defense. I
Yeah,
just like Everton's fixtures a little more. But coming to the more important point, I'd
mid.
say Mbumo needs to be fit in, and I'm not sure if Raul Jimenez is the right pick over here.
Yeah,
And that's another thing that's of concern. Maybe Smith Rowe
I-
to Mbumo, that'll take about 1.5. Then you'll have 1.3 to upgrade Raul Jimenez. Then you can just do Wood, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. Would if you can't get to, and if in that case, actually, would you in fact consider giving this team a downgrade from Trent? Uh, Given that he'll need to upgrade other places, his midfield seems and attack seems low. He's low on team value
Yeah, maybe, but I just feel Trent
because Trent,
is
Trent would
Trent is
allow
just
like Trent to Saliba would allow him to upgrade his third like a decent position like Raul to
yeah. Then he can
Solanke
do
overall,
Jimenez to Solanke, I guess.
and then even on the midfield he can spread funds. I think that's sort of
Hmm.
better. He can get Diaz in as well if he wants from Smith Rowe
Mhm. It's
and
either
save
that
some.
or I think what you have done. I'm not sure if what your team value is, but you're going only with 7 attackers, right?
Yeah, I've got only
So
100 million. I can't fit in what other people are.
so yeah,
So I've gone
that's
very
that's
strangely on
basically
that.
something that this you can learn also from your draft, where you can just go 7 attackers, not have Rogers, and
Yeah,
probably upgrade Raul Jimenez with that. If you have, if you get enough for Solanke, if not, the Trent route also is fine. Downgrading Trent to Saliba, but I probably would prefer having Trent. Then you can just downgrade
yeah,
Konsa to, and I would not have Keane. Keane's not going to start. Just go with Greaves.
yeah. I agree. Uh, okay. Uh, Pranaya Sharma.
Any
No, we
news
have
surfacing
Vatsal
around
as well.
Raya?
No, just Andy who's put
He's
out
been
that he got
spotted in
news
the
that he
thing.
spotted
That's
in the
all.
hotel. Yeah. If there is no news, are you really tempted to go Raya or just wait
No,
out?
no. If there's no news, I'm going Havertz.
Yeah. I like him as captain as well this gaming, so I really like having him. We have Vatsal's question. He says that with my cash problems, I'm not able to fit Saka, Salah, Trent, Haaland on a wild card. What's the solution? Uh,
Ah,
I let go of
I'm
Salah personally.
yes.
That
I
fits
think
in everyone else.
neither of us have Salah in our teams. I think
Yeah,
it's
no,
just that
no. It's
you don't
too
captain
much
him in
money
any
at
of
this
these
point.
fixtures
Yeah,
that are coming.
yeah.
yeah,
exactly.
you look at these fixtures: Wolves, Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Arsenal. At least next four, you're not going to captain him in any of those fixtures. Maybe this week, but you have Saka against Leicester, Haaland against Newcastle. You probably captain them ahead, and going forward, you just want Haaland for those fixtures and captain him every week. So Salah is just taking up that money, which I'm not sure is ideal.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm not keen to put him in there. There's a chance. Are you considering switching captaincy from Haaland to Havertz, or like just
Not
giving it a
right.
thought?
No.
No, I mean what I can see from Newcastle predicted lineup, they're going pretty heavy on defense. They have Trippier, Scar, Burn, Kelly, Tonali, Gimenez, Joelinton, Murphy, Gordon and Barnes starting up, and no Isaac as well. So it's pretty much a deep mid block with a false nine and like solid, like we'll hold the box sort of team.
Yes, but
I'm interested.
Haaland is going to be against Dan Burn, who's too slow, and Haaland is just going to get space.
Yeah,
I just
that's
can't.
I don't think
I'm
they'll
not
be
buying this.
I don't think they'll be pressing enough to give him space. They will just like at him like heading the crosses. I am tempted. I'm not gonna lie because this I see this as an opportunity. Since I have Havertz, Saka is gonna go sort of deeper uh, playmaker. Havertz has a chance in the box. Seems like a good shot. I don't know. I'm tempted. Can't deny that I am.
It is a good shout, like fairly good shout, but just that Haaland is not. Like, I
Yeah, I
mean, I'm
mean,
not gonna pivot against Haaland against the Newcastle defense who are not looking good at all.
yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
you can go for Havertz. I wouldn't stop you from doing that, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
see that,
I'm
and
just gonna go
I'm
Haaland.
not that keen on Luis Diaz, but more on Havertz. I think.
Luis Diaz is not a captaincy option. I'm not. I don't think
Yeah.
he's not gonna get the minutes this game. He's gonna get 60 to 70 minutes.
And Havertz has been good, so I'm interested. I can't.
Mm.
Okay, we'll take up more questions since we've discussed our draft. Let's go back to the odds slide. Let's just discuss that from there and see. Is Timber nailed? I can't say for sure. Short term maybe, but not long term. Okay,
Yes,
then we have remove Salah and Eze and get Diaz and Saka. I would personally do that if I were you. When
Salah
we
and
have
Eze, Diaz, Saka. Yes, I would do that.
yeah, Haaland or Watkins captaincy. Still on Haaland.
Haaland.
I think Watkins is a good shout.
He's a
We,
good shot.
we have
Definitely. I
used
mean,
Raya as
this
a
week
right.
you have
Sorry.
fixtures. We have fixtures like against Wolves for Liverpool, against Newcastle for City, against Ipswich for Aston Villa, against Leicester for Arsenal. All of you could perhaps put captain them. Even Cole Palmer is a good captaincy option. So this might be the week where there might be variance in the captain. So
Yeah,
one of them might blank, the other might like just go berserk. So you might get on the good end of it or even the bad end of it if you go against Haaland and he just smashes it.
yeah, that's always the case with Haaland, but I can't lie. I'm tempted. I'm not sure on Watkins though, but he's not a bad shout.
Mm.
Best
Yeah,
for
just give me a
million
second.
different.
I'll
Yeah. Also, till then, Raya has been spotted uh, in the hotel. He's been coming out of the squad this morning, so there is Raya involved with the team. That doesn't mean he'll start, but that definitely means that he's fit enough for the next one. So, do you want to take a punt on a keeper for one game week if he gets a blank? Maybe that's doable. I don't think that's the worst shout, but that's something to think of because now you might want to change your squad and everything. But
if
yeah,
Raya
did you
is
hear
on
that
the in the
news?
squad, I think he
Yeah, he's in
starts.
the squad. Yeah, he's in the squad.
Yeah, if
You
he's in
think?
the
I don't
squad,
think
I
he
think he
starts.
starts.
No, I don't think so. I think he's just playing around with us.
Yeah, but I
Would you
wouldn't.
change your team right now for Raya?
I'm not sure. I mean, as and
I
when
was pretty settled.
when
Yeah,
I
I was
brought
pretty settled on habits.
yeah, when I brought in Havertz, I feel like I like Havertz in my team, but now I'm just not happy removing Havertz from my team.
Let's say, can we do Saka out? Is that too foolish?
Mm. No, it's not something that's even skip crossing my mind at the last minute. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna do that.
yeah. That's only something that I can think of. No, I'm not. I'm pro habits. Yes, I agree. But let's see. Hmm. Okay. We have other questions to focus on. We have Raul is a one game week punt. Can go to Raul to Havertz Solanke and also DCL to Watkins. I think Raul to Havertz slash Solanke is better Friday. I wouldn't even go for a 1 week punt. I don't know if he'll start. That's the problem. So even if it's a 1 week punt, we don't have guaranteed news. I wouldn't really go there.
Yeah.
DCL Woden Haaland
Raya,
as a front three. Yeah, go ahead.
just going back to the Raya thing, is he walking fine in the video that's
So
has been coming?
I'm not going into that much. Can't say, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not that major an injury where you're not gonna be limping
Yeah,
around.
it shouldn't be that bad.
Yeah.
I think it's a normal muscle pull. I don't know. I'm keen to. I am really keen for a double up, but that means I'll have to. It really depends. If Lewis is out, Rico Lewis is out, then I would consider something like that. As of now, I'm
Hmm.
not. But yeah, what do you think about DCL Wood and Haaland as a front three? I think it's a decent front three. It's sort of weak. I think one of them should be Solanke, but he doesn't have the funds for it.
Yeah, I mean, worst case you just go with that. But I mean, it's okay. You're gonna end up having Joao Pedro back at some point, where he'll become an option,
Yeah.
good option.
Or yeah,
It's just that how many options are there in that particular price bracket? In 7.5 million, you have Jackson, you have Mateta, you have Solanke, and if little bit more expensive, you have Havertz. That's quite a few. So having one in the 7.5 to 8.5 million bracket and one in the 6 million bracket, I think just looks better as a team, as a structure in your team. But yeah, I don't think. I mean, if you don't have anything else to
it's
do,
long
just
term. Yeah,
go
short
for
term you figure out, but long term, I think you'll need someone of that tag. And also a lot of questions around this. Defenders around the 4.5 and the 5 million bracket. All these two. Uh,
let's
Given what
rank it.
I have seen, and I like, yeah, I like Lewis at 4.7. I like Colville at 4.7/8. Those two. At other prices, mm, there's not anyone who stands out. Yeah, that's pretty much those
Um,
two at
yeah,
those
I
four
mean, you
point.
can go for the Nottingham Forest defender. They have good fixtures. They have good defensive stats. It's just, but you don't see you see centre backs over here and not full backs who are
Yeah,
coming who are surfacing out of this, which sort of comes back to the clean sheet part, and we can just go to the slide where we have from
yeah.
11FI on the defense,
And
which is
also at
pretty
4.5,
interesting.
I'd go Pinnock.
Yeah, probably Pinnock is there,
Brentford is a good,
but
yeah.
but then you just don't know if Pinnock is going to continue holding position because I think Pinnock so far has been pretty poor.
Yeah,
Brentford
but I think
defensively
he's
also
pretty
have
much
also been
essential.
pretty poor.
He's the rest are injured. So Henry Hickey, Ayer is just back. I don't know if how he'll play. Me is out of favor. So I think Pinnock is pretty much the only one I can put my bet money on.
Pinnock, Collins, Vandenberg, two of if it's four at the back, two of them play. Not sure who misses out because Pinnock and Collins have been playing pretty much every game, and the last two games Vandenberg has come in and played fine. And Pinnock has
Yeah,
not been good this season, so I'm just not so confident that he continues to start. Obviously, Pinnock has been starting pretty much mainstay for Brentford whenever he's been
yeah.
available over the last since they've come to the
Since like
Premier
the
League.
inception, yeah, of
Yes,
them back in the Premier League.
so that shows that Pinnock will probably continue to be favored, but you don't know when that's going to drop off. So that's why I'm not confident on Pinnock. So the only guy who I'm not sure I'm going to only defensive option from Brentford I would be looking at is Flecken. Everton, I think that you just go with Mikolenko. Just looking at this predicted clean sheets from 11fi.com, you look at which others for the next 6 game weeks. Who's probably going to have the higher clean sheet odds, which is given now. I mean, this could change
Yeah,
as and when you go through the game weeks. Some people might have more odds and less, but at this point, this is what it looks for the next 6 game weeks. Nottingham Forest doesn't look bad, but I mean, Ola Aina might become an option as their
yeah, and
fullback.
as yeah, I agree.
So that's probably there. I mean, but other than that, I think Rico Lewis is number one and Colville is number two for me as well.
Yeah. Okay. That being said, 15 minutes about to 14 minutes to line. I think we should make up our minds on Raya. A lot of people are on the same sort of debate. So I'll just take a couple of questions and then I'll get back to you about what you're doing on your team. But Kaizen has said Diaz, Mikalenko, or Saliba and a 6.5 mid. Tempted to go for a mid on Saliba rather than Diaz, who's a rotation risk. I would agree. If you that's definitely if you don't have another Arsenal defender. If you do, I think there is enough upside to go for Diaz for the next 2 game weeks. The next two are
Yes.
good for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Next up,
but
yeah,
again, if you're having Saliba, that's again for the next 2 3 game weeks. I've been tinkering quite a bit with the Saliba draft. Is where that after 3 game weeks, I'm not sure if I'd be like if it was Raya and Gabriel, I would still be fine with having a goalkeeper and Gabriel. But if it's Saliba and Gabriel, I'll probably want to have someone else as well. I'm not sure if that
yeah,
that makes a lot of sense around that. But I think sort of removing Saliba at that point is something that we'll be looking at, and that meant that the second Arsenal defender is also a short-term option, or at least you're going to hide him in your bench, which is not the best for a 6 million.
yeah. It's not the best, but I think they have the highest sort of. They have like the best odds to sort of get a clean sheet out of things. So I'm pretty sure they can.
They can,
I'm
they can,
hopeful.
they can
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm hopeful. Nevertheless. Okay, there are more questions coming in. Saka or Haaland, we've discussed that. Can you please rate my wildcard draft? It's Flecken, Greaves, Saliba, Gabriel, and Luis. Konate. I'm not sure Konate is the best option. I don't think you should go four at the back. That's my first thought. ESR, Buemo, Saka, Rogers, DC, and Haaland would. I think you can downgrade I think you can downgrade Konate and then upgrade DCL would. That should help.
Yeah, Konate can be your 4.0. I mean,
Yep.
maybe your to a Mikalenko, then you can do maybe DCL to, I mean, or would the Calvert Lewin,
Six
depends on the
one
money
six
you
point
have
one
at the time.
would two. I think Solanke would be easier.
Yeah.
Okay, we have enough questions coming in. Arsenal or Liverpool defense as captain for a differential. Trent, maybe yes, as a differential fair, but I wouldn't go there.
As a
Start
captain?
Luis or Pulis. Yeah, as captain, I wouldn't.
No, no, not Trent as a captain this week. Sorry.
Yeah, this is too punty. I just joined the stream. May I know Saka or Haaland as captaincy? I think Haaland for all of. I think Haaland is way above Saka for captaincy.
Yeah, I think the only person who comes close is Havertz, because of his how central he's going to be against Leicester. But yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with Haaland for this week
Yeah,
because
as of now,
just
I'm
not
on Haaland too. I'm not
my
switching.
appetite.
Yeah, I just looked back on data on how his shot map has been looking. It's not that crazy or impressive. I know against Leicester, the central players or the player who's up top does hog a lot of chances, but based off that, I'm just okay having him in my team than just getting over there. There's news that Rico and Guardiola starts.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
those
just
two
coming.
start.
I'll just type it and put that.
Yeah, more news coming in. Okay, now I need to decide whether I want. Yeah, Louis news. Raya is with the squad, so that doesn't guarantee him to start, but at least he's there, so he's fit enough for the next one, if not this one. That's something that you can think on. Best 6.5 million or under mid, I have Rogers and Semedo. I think Semedo and Rogers are pretty much it. I don't know someone specifically much better than Semedo, at least at this point. ESR maybe, but Semedo I think is much preferred to me. Okay,
Yes, I
let's
think
see.
coming back to locking the teams, I'm sure
Yeah,
it's just
let's
less
sort
than
of
10
that.
minutes, guys. So please lock in your
I need,
teams,
I
and
need to
yeah,
think
we'll come
too.
back.
Parag
I
Verma
currently have
sending
Raya
his team.
in my draft,
Yeah.
and this surfacing that he's with the squad is nice. I mean, I don't know if I want to
See,
do it.
the worst I think that can happen is you go from 6 pointer to down to maybe let's say 2 pointer down to a zero. I don't think that's the worst going long term. You save a transfer, so you need to value if your transfer is more than 6 points or not. Till then, just read out Parag's question. He's been sending his team a lot. Sanchez says Trent, Gabriel, Keane, Mazrui, Rico Lewis, Mbuemo Saka, Diaz, Rogers, ESR, Haaland. I think it's a lot of money spread. Once you can really downgrade cells, don't need a second 4.5 guy. Trent Gabriel, Luis Keane. Good. Keane to Mikalenko. That helps. You'll have four starter and a backup, good backup. Uh, Midfield seems sorted, and then I think it is a good wild card. I think you can save money. on sells down to someone.
Yeah,
Yep. Savio or ESR? I'd go ESR. He's nailed to start
ESR.
at least. And then Savio just blocks you out of, let's say, a double defense or a double
Hmm.
attack later on. So I wouldn't do that.
You just want Foden, and yeah, I mean
Yep.
Piccolo is now
Foden will
starting,
be
so he
Foden
probably
will be
will
a
get starts.
necessity in the coming game weeks. Is
Yes,
McNeil going under the radar? No, I don't think he's going under the radar. He's always been
I
the
think he's
same sort
going
of.
more than what he's expected to go
Yeah,
as sort of an
yeah.
FPL pick.
I don't
This is
think
the
we
most
need
I've
to
seen
hype
a
him up.
McNeil in drafts. I'm sure,
Yep.
but I'm not going there. I'm just.
Yeah, I'm not going there either.
I mean, his expected assists look very good. His expected goals look like the opposite of that,
Yeah.
which is
And I want someone who shoots a lot, not just expected assists. It's like James Ward-Prowse. If you get lucky, you get lucky. Otherwise, you don't.
uh, definitely
I don't think Sancho will start. Madueke out for who under 7.5 million for a free. Madison is just under 7.5, right? I think I'd go there.
7.5 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cap ranking as of now.
but you'd hold Madueke this week if it's not a wild card. Is
Yeah,
he? Is he
I
gonna?
agree.
Gonna know? Yeah,
Start Mikolenko or
Rico Lewis, you start.
Lewis. Okay, let's show our final teams. Let's get down to our final teams. I have 8 minutes. Let's figure that out.
This is your team
Okay,
quickly.
I'm really thinking on Raya. If I do Raya out, I have currently Raya. I'm more keen to have Havertz. I can't lie. I am currently more keen to have Havertz, which would mean that I have Semeo and a 9.2 million midfielder, which seems sort of unaffordable at this point. So that's where I am, to be honest. 9.8. What are my options at 9.3? Pretty much
For a
nothing.
midfielder.
Yeah.
I think you go down to Diaz then. Oh, you already have Diaz. Okay.
No, in that
Oh,
case,
you're
I'm going
removing
to.
Saka.
Yeah, I'll probably just either. So I have two options. I can go Palmer and remove Semedo to Rogers, or I can go Madison right away and then keep Semedo.
Oh, I'm not a fan of just one premium, but in the midfield, I just don't know.
Yeah, because and or I could just let go of Raya, focus on the attack, and then as per
Yeah, I
plan
think for
restructure
your
Raya
team that
in
looks better. For your
because I
team,
don't have the funds. Yeah, I don't
not
have the
going with
funds for.
Raya looks better. Yeah, for the value you have, you
Yeah,
can save that
just
1.1 million in your defense. That's a lot. Sorry, in your goalkeeper.
yeah, I agree.
Yes, I'll just go over to my team.
Yep.
This is yeah. Currently, I have Raya on my team and Solanke as the striker. This one on the screen just shows Sanchez and Havertz, and that's still what I'm debating against. And it's just very less. And I mean, I have quite a few other things that I don't want my mind to skip, which is the benching headache. But I'm currently benching Rogers out of these eight because I feel like the other seven have higher upside, and it's been between Rogers and Calvert Lewin. Uh, what do you think?
Rogers and Calvert-Lewin. I start Calvert-Lewin penalties. I trust him.
Nine, yeah, and he's more
He's
central.
just more nailed. Yeah, he's more central. I think.
Yeah, and I probably if I when I bring in Solanke, I start him over Rogers as well.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it's Raya Solanke versus Sanchez Havertz. 5 minutes to go.
it makes sense. I
Go ahead.
can't budget Raya in. I'm trying to fit in him, but that really ruins my lineup
Yeah,
all over
I
the
don't think it
place.
makes sense for you for your draft because I think for your draft the three of them look good.
Yeah,
The
and I think I
assists.
can't afford Saka, so I can't afford Palmer because he's point 0.3 and point 0.3 short. So I'm going to go with Saka. Just stick with the team that I had essentially, and I'm making no sense. So maybe you can go back to my team. I'll just read it out what 11 I'm playing out.
But what do you
Um,
think I should do?
with Raya,
Go to
I think
Raya?
you should. If you,
Or,
yeah, I think you should. The worst is you lose 6 points. I think you're someone who anyways holds on to transfers and doesn't really take a hit. So I think the transfer will be valuable for you.
yeah,
I'm
probably
more
think so.
reckless. Yeah, I'm more reckless. I don't mind the hit. So I think you should hold Raya. I honestly, I don't think he'll start. It's just one of my feelings. I don't think he will be given the chance because it's not that important of a fixture as well.
But there was
And
also news of like that came out that they want to give him a few minutes before PSG, which I think becomes
Benjamin
important.
White is missing out as well. I think.
Yeah, but coming back,
Yeah,
he was sort of missing PSG. That's the. I mean, no, they want him fit before PSG is something
yeah,
that came
yeah,
out
and
of.
I don't think this is an important game as much as it could be. So I think that is fair. I don't think he'll start. Another gut feeling that I have strongly, I think Jota starts and he'll do good. And I'm not trying to jinx Diaz here, but I have a strong feeling about Jota in case someone wants to pick that up. For
Yeah, but not
captaincy,
in a
we
wild
ranked,
card.
yeah, not on a wild card, but just like in case you want to.
Hmm.
We ranked Haaland top and then Havertz second. No Saka. We ranked Watkins third, I think. Both of us agree on that. And then there's Salah and Diaz on
Haaland
there.
first. If you have Salah, he's second. Then
Oh,
Havertz.
okay.
Then Watkins.
Yeah, I would punt on Havertz, I think. But fair, I agree. Salah is pretty much on penalties, so it's not essential. 3 minutes. My 11 is Flecken, Trent, Gabriel, Luis, Semedo, Saka, Luis Diaz, and Bruno. Let's pick themselves up and the front three. Captaining Haaland because, yeah, this doesn't seem right to not captain him. I have a double attack and I don't want all of my eggs in one basket, not going Havertz captaincy. What's What's ended as 11? I think pretty much like your 11. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. Adama seems like a punt, but fair. Watkins versus Havertz. I would go Havertz for the first two. I pretty much like how Arsenal look. I'm not. If you have the funds actually between Watkins and Havertz, it's pretty close. What do you do? I see Watkins only as a 1 game week sort of, and Havertz is more
No,
three
I
game
see
week
Watkins
thing.
as a longer term than Havertz.
Okay, then have
So
would
let's
you
say
say Watkins?
Watkins.
Okay,
I'd say Watkins.
yeah, I'm pretty confused, so I'd pick him up. Flecken or Sanchez as goalkeeper. Uh, I'm of the opinion save the point too, and you can get in Colville later because he's more attacking. Uh, but up to you. I think he makes Flecken is also a reason because he makes more saves for me. So that's why I've picked Flecken. But between Flecken and Cells, why haven't you picked Cells?
Me?
Yeah,
I think it's close. I just go Flecken because of the number of saves he gets, and Sells has Miguel hitting on the door, which Flecken I don't think Valdemilson will be taking his position.
yeah, okay.
Okay, I think I'm
Uh,
locked in with my team.
yep, me
I
too.
just go
Let's just
back
get more questions. Bench two of Wood,
to
ESR,
my.
Solanke, Luis, Rogers. I'd bench ESR and Rogers at the three. It's about a
Yeah, I
minute
think
to
I.
go.
Yeah, ESR and but no, he has. Okay, yeah, ESR and Rogers. But
Yep,
coming to the other one, Semenyo, Rogers, Solanke, Wood. That's closer. One. Then one means I think Rogers is second. Rogers I'd
yep,
bench. I'm benching Rogers as
yeah.
well.
Rogers is bench for me too.
Hmm. Yeah, this is
Vice captain
ending up
and
as my
second.
team.
No, okay. Yep. And we have more
Okay,
questions.
Raya,
Kepa or
Trent,
Henderson?
Gabriel,
Henderson. I would not go there, but Henderson. Yeah, go ahead.
Kepa or Henderson. I mean, for this, I wouldn't go either.
And Ahmad or Madueke? I'd go Madueke. He starts at least.
Madueke,
Yeah.
Madueke.
Bench one. Rogers. If you have Rogers, I'd bench him. Even though he has an easy fixture, there is enough good fixtures on the pitch.
Yes. I was
Does Luis
looking
start?
back
Yeah,
at.
he does.
I think we are locked in. The deadline is done.
Yep.
But just the
But
point
yeah,
that
you
why
say.
I have benched Rogers is I was looking back at like I mean Rogers had a full week's rest, but so did Calvert Lewin, so did Semenyo, so did Solanke. I mean Solanke didn't, but so did
Yeah, a lot of other
Solanke.
players. Yeah.
I was never going to bench Solanke for Rogers. It was always going to be Calvert Lewin, and he's also had a full week's rest. So I guess it's just goes for that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think we
And
are done with Game Week 6 wildcard finally. I mean, can't wait to watch the wildcard fail right now. I have not gone with Havertz. Can't wait for him to see. Can't wait to see Havertz score a hat trick today. But that's how it is.
yeah,
Um,
I really
yeah,
think Haaland isn't the best shout. I think it is going to be a pretty close game for Newcastle and City. It's just how I think Newcastle will set up on a mid block and a really low block, and that's going to happen.
yeah, maybe. But I'm not sure if they have the best personnel for that to happen
Yeah.
um,
Let's see.
than they have usually. Let's see. But yeah, I think we have had a good stream today. Please, I'm giving a plug to hit the like, hit the share, and subscribe. Um, and yeah, hopefully we do more streams like this soon.
Yep.
And it's been a good wildcard week. A lot of tinkering, a lot of things going in the mind. Hopefully, whoever wildcarded, good luck to you. Hopefully, you got the 50-50s right. And also for who didn't wildcard, also I think hopefully you have got your picks right, and
Yeah.
we can come back and discuss more wildcard if you're wildcarding in the future. But yeah, I
Hopefully,
guess any last
hopefully we get
words?
it right. No, I'm just hopeful that Havertz does score. Sorry if you don't have him, but I have him for a change, and I hope Saka and Havertz bang it out this one against Leicester.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. On that note, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys the next time we stream. Till then, this is the FPL Tips team signing off. Cheers.
Cheers.